Hey everyone! Welcome to our Nintendo/Zelda E3 reactions video from the Over a Beer channel. My name is Rich.
You're supposed to go, hey, listen!
Oh. Well, you don't tell me what you want me to do before we start. You're just
Maybe
like,
you're supposed to read my mind.
I'm just like, I'm just gonna do something.
Yeah. What are we talking about today? If
I don't
people
know.
can't guess.
I don't know. Pokemon. Talking about Pokemon.
They barely did. Why should we?
Yeah. No,
No,
they talked more about
they did.
Pokemon than they did Zelda at that thing.
We're talking about Nintendo.
Yeah.
And not the Nintendo conference, because that didn't exist.
It
Not
was
the
their
Nintendo Direct, that didn't really exist.
Their Treehouse Live, I don't want to call it a conference, but their presentation.
Yeah. I mean,
the Treehouse Live is a thing that's going on all day, but their presentation this morning where they
there's that movie Monster Trucks coming out about a literal monster
inside
inside of a truck.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll now make it like a Treehouse Live movie where there's just the treehouse that's alive and it goes, hey, why are you sitting in me?
I can see that.
So,
I'd watch
anyway.
it. We're real topical today on,
Yes.
staying on track.
Topical cream.
So it kicked off with...
The Treehouse.
Yes.
Kicked off.
The Treehouse presentation kicked off with Reggie introducing the Legend of Zelda trailer. Breath of the Wild.
That's what that was.
Breath of the Wild is what it's called.
Yeah. So, we got our first truly good look at the game, cinematics, gameplay. Yeah, I mean, it's Zelda in a way that we have not really seen before. It looks really good. It doesn't look as good as some of the stuff that we've seen this week. It doesn't.
Okay.
But it looks really good. Like, it looks amazing. We haven't seen Nintendo visuals except for maybe like Mario Kart 8 that would even come close to like when you see those ducks in the pond and the water and the sun coming down.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful.
This game is gorgeous.
It looks great. It looks really good. We haven't seen this before, right?
No.
Like, we haven't seen this from Zelda ever. The only thing that I would say is in 10 years this won't look good and Wind Waker still will.
I don't know about that. I mean, this still has its own distinct kind of cel-shading art style.
Bad, but
I could see it looking as good as Wind Waker in 10 years.
But it looks awesome. And the trailer, it's funny because like I sat there for the 3 minutes that this thing goes on, thinking like with my jaw open, excited, going like, oh my god, I can't wait to do this, and it's not even that exciting. Like, it's exciting because of the visuals. It's not an excitingly cut trailer. You think it is? I mean,
I do. I
mean, I don't think it. When you look at like the way that the Spider-Man trailer that was,
but it's exciting in a different way.
It's not excitingly cut. It's excitingly like, I think if you were not a fan of Zelda, you'd never played a Zelda game.
Sure.
I don't think that you would be like, wow, that looks awesome. Like,
he's cooking.
He's pulling things out of water. Like,
that's fair. I'll give you that.
You know what I mean? But for us, super exciting.
Knowing, where this series has come from, and now all of a sudden he can jump and he's cooking and he's crafting and he's doing this and that.
He's been able to do that.
And there's voiceover and like all this stuff in it.
Yeah. And then we got the title.
Then we got the title.
Which I already mentioned.
Breath of the Wild.
It's a cool title.
Yeah.
I think I talked about this with, I don't remember the name of the game, but when we did our Sony one, go back and watch that. I'm having a lot of trouble remembering this title. Like, it's not catching in my mind, but it will over time.
Yeah.
I had the same problem with like Force Awakens. It's just, but eventually that stuff just becomes second nature.
Yeah.
But it's a really interesting Zelda title. Like, usually,
like
maybe that
I like it. I'm into it, and maybe it is because it's brand new, but it doesn't have the same hit for me as something like Ocarina of Time, Majora's like it. Yeah, but I have a feeling it will just because it's new.
I was watching like an IGN reaction with Jose Otero, and like he was saying how it's really interesting title because it doesn't have anything to do with a character or an item. And we don't know that. The Breath of the Wild could be something that's important.
Yeah, it's like
in the game.
The wind bag.
Yeah, that's what powers the wind bag. We don't really know that, but I think it's a cool title for sure. It's kind of like like a fanciful title, like, or it's like a, what's the word that I'm searching for? Like, it's kind of like romantic.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of like, that's what this looks like, because this is like the romantic representation of what we've always wanted Zelda to look like. And that's kind of the title helps capture that.
Yeah, and the one, I don't remember if it was on that reaction or in the Treehouse event later, as they were talking about, you know, in this, I think it was in the NBC reaction where they were saying that the environment looks like its own character. Like, I mean, it's that they're, you know, it looks like they're treating it like its own.
Yeah, and so we learned a lot of interesting things also about gameplay. Hearts are not going to be found in the wild.
Nope.
Rupees are not going to be found in the wild.
Nope.
You can chop down
as much
trees and bushes and break open pots, and they're not going to be in there. You have to sell things that you find to get money, like other people in the real world. You have to,
and then for
you have to
hearts,
you have to cook, you have to hunt, you have to
gather and craft, and
that's so new for Zelda, and that's exciting because the Zelda formula, while I love every game, it does start to get stale. Yeah, like if this is as successful commercially, but critically, if the reception, the fan reception to this is as good as I think it should be, if it's what we want it to be, then I hope Pokemon takes a lesson and they do some drastic changes too. Because that's the other Nintendo series in my mind that I love, but it is super formulaic.
Well, that's what so before we get too far into Zelda, let's do the same thing Nintendo did.
Okay.
And
I mean, I didn't get to watch much of it. So
you didn't watch it?
Tell me. I've seen all the stuff.
Okay.
I don't know.
So what they did is they came out and Bridgie, like, you know, everyone else that threw so far, did a very nice, like, Orlando mention at the beginning. And then they went into the moment of silence, and then they went and was like, okay, well, here's, you know, Zelda. And then they played the trailer and they revealed the name. And then they instantly were like, well, we're going to talk more about Zelda, but first we're going to show you Pokemon Sun and Moon. And they spent 45 minutes on Pokemon Sun and Moon. I mean, after showing us the Zelda trailer.
Like 10 hours, right?
Yeah, I mean, they've been streaming like Zelda all day. Every time I've had it on, it's been Zelda. And most of it was the same information that we knew before. Here's your starters. Here's this. Here's that. There's some interesting modes that are coming in that, like the 4-player thing. I'll never use it. I don't know, but
I want a drastic change to how you encounter Pokemon, how you encounter gyms, how you somehow shake up that formula. But I'm so excited for Sun and Moon.
Yeah, I'm still gonna get it. Play it. But it looks like more Pokemon.
We haven't even done like what we've been up to lately, but I last weekend dove back into X and Y.
Oh, really?
Finish X, and
nice.
It was nice being back, and then all I was thinking is like, I'm doing this, and it's gonna, by the time I'm done, it's gonna dwindle my excitement for Sun and Moon because it's gonna be the same thing again.
Yeah.
But I was excited to get back in that world.
So after that, then they did their Zelda. Then they finally got through all that, and then was their Zelda presentation, and they showed us. So you've watched that whole thing where him waking up and okay, cool. And yeah, it was just one thing after another with going through that intro scene or that half hour of footage that they showed. It was like, wow, okay, now he's climbed, he's craft. There's the old man. There's the. I mean,
yeah,
I can't wait.
No, I mean it looks really cool. And you learn things like 12 times bigger than the map in Twilight Princess, and I mean that's big. Mm-hmm. I mean, not 12 times longer than that game.
No, but 12 times the size of the map
when you think about Twilight
can
Princess,
fit 12 maps of Twilight Princess in it.
That's impressive. I just really wish that they had. I wish that this wasn't all kind of muddied by the fact that we haven't seen it on NX. We don't know what NX is. We don't know how NX is going to control. And yes, you could just if NX looks awful, I could just get it for Wii U. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to. I want to get it for whatever the NX is going to be.
Sure.
Unless the NX is stupid. I just wish that this at E3 had been like, this is the NX. Zelda's coming. Just wait till this fall when we show you what else is coming in the NX. I wish they had given us the details that we wanted. But this is cool.
Yeah.
In a way, it's all that Nintendo needed to get people excited, I guess.
It got me. I mean, I was like sitting there watching this, just like freaking out. I mean,
it looks awesome. It does. I mean, but we knew that it was going to, right? I mean,
we hoped. We didn't know.
They don't drop the ball with Zelda.
Typically.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. In my opinion, never.
I mean, I wasn't too hot on whatever the last Triforce Heroes.
Oh, well, that doesn't count. To me, that's not a real entry in, in the series. Neither is Hyrule Warriors. They're like side projects.
Sure. But it was just one of those things that we only seen like 3 screenshots in that one trailer, and it delayed. Are we going to see it? Is it actually going to be what we want it to be? Is it going to let people down? And they're, it's taking, hints, or inspiration from Western games and blah, 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 blah. And it really, you can tell. I mean,
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
But also very much Zelda.
Absolutely.
But while feeling fresh and new. And hopefully, once we actually have the game in our hands and are playing through the entire story and going through it, it will feel like both of those things. Yeah. It truly will feel, and all of the new things. Because even when you're watching the cinematic trailer that they showed, which had some gameplay in it, but like when you're seeing him climbing a tree and climbing a mountain and climbing something else, scaling the castle, all of that, like it looked cool, but it looked exactly the same each thing that he was climbing, and I was like it didn't look any different. And I hope that some of that stuff doesn't feel repetitive because they're just trying to make it like big and just doing the same stuff over and over again in just different locations. It was, to me, it stuck out because they showed those 3 things like back to back to back, and I was like, he looks exactly the same. You just replaced what you're showing.
Yeah.
And I just don't want it.
I think that was the idea. Is look how expansive and huge this game is, and how you're though there's no more barriers or walls, you can climb over anything and do anything and interact with the environment in ways that we've never been able to. You can cut down a tree and you can, go find a camp of goblins and take their weapons and then take their meat and...
Yeah, and so we learned some other stuff too, like, it's going to be like a day-night cycle, and so you'll come across, maybe at night, a camp of enemies that is asleep, who would be awake in the day if you were there at a different time and stuff like that, and that's going to change the way that you play the game, and that kind of harkens back to even, like Majora's Mask, the way that...
I'll be curious if there's more, like, schedule-type stuff, because I think there is... in some footage, there's like a little clock or something, so you know what time it is. So I'll be curious to see if they
and you can see like Nintendo learning, even though it's like different teams, but learning on like that even is like New Leaf, right? Like when you think about the Animal Crossing game, like that's how that works. At night, people are asleep, different people are out, things happen, and how effective that was. And needing to go in at different times. Like it'd be cool if in the game, if it's literally like you have to play that game at night to get the night stuff, and it's not like some accelerated timeline.
Well, no,
they talked about that.
Yeah, it's I think a minute for every hour. Okay. So every hour in game is a minute in real time. So every 24 minutes is.
That's really quick.
That's the one thing that's the report that I had read.
But there could be something that slows down time too.
Yeah.
Because that's really quick. When you think about it, you play the game for 45 hours. Years have gone by.
Yeah, that's fair. That was the one thing that I had read. It may have been... I think it was on like the NBC they were talking about. But I don't know. And then they've added...
By the end of the game, he's just an old man.
And then they've added sound as a component. If you notice on the bottom of the screen, there's that little like sound wave bar down there. So you have to sneak and do that, and you sneak through the grass, and then there's a temperature gauge. So if you go to colder environments, you have to either like take a potion to help you adapt or wear more clothing. That's not, we have got armor and different stuff to equip and all kind. This looks like a
very cool
Witcher Skyrim with Zelda. With
it
Link
does,
and
my only fear on that would be Nintendo's never done that. So is this first attempt at it gonna feel like a first attempt at it, and not like the next time around will be the full package? I trust in them. I'm just saying that's very possible. They haven't done this.
Sure.
The first time that Bethesda made an Elder Scrolls game is a lot different than when they were making the 5th one and it was Skyrim. So this isn't their first Zelda game, but it is the first game as ambitious as this.
Sure, absolutely. I think they even said this is like their biggest game they've ever done.
I don't even know if they needed to. It's apparent, but I just think like that would be the worry, that they are learning and it's great and it could lead to better things, but it's not everything that it doesn't feel totally right because they haven't done it, and they'll learn from their mistakes. That would be my biggest fear.
Yeah, that's definitely a concern. I can
also,
see
the reason that I would even feel that that's a possibility is because, as we've discussed, the last couple of years of Nintendo have been rocky.
Sure.
And so they have my faith. This looks really great.
Yeah, I mean,
But if I was ever to doubt them, it's now.
I feel like they've delayed it enough to the point, like, them trying to perfect it and trying to make sure they get this right. And all the different ways, just getting to watch, some of the gameplay and stuff after their presentation. And just the different ways you can approach different puzzles in the area. And, they said something, they were talking about I think sanctuaries, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
The little, the little mini dungeons type things that are in there. And Bill Trenton said something, it was like, oh, there's 4 in the plateau in our E3 demo, like in the E3 version. So I'm wondering how much more is going to be in this world in the retail version, when in the final version. Be it more sanctuaries or more people or more animals or more this or more that. How much is scaled back to so they can go through and they can hit the beats.
They have a good amount of time. They don't have an unlimited amount of time.
Sure.
The game is still March.
That's
what we think.
We think because that's when NX is supposed to launch.
And so that would make sense.
If they were to do, yeah.
Yeah. So that's not a massive amount of time. It's a good amount of time.
But I'm not saying they're going to add that. I'm saying that
it's already there.
They
held it back.
They have it, and they aren't.
Do that?
So they can show without.
Maybe
they can keep it more controlled. Of like, okay, here I found this, and I know there's just these camps, and we just want to show off. Maybe there's more story type stuff that they aren't showing. Who knows?
We'll see.
That's the theory.
But it's impressive. Do you have? Anything about they it's all about Zelda, but they did show some other stuff. They showed some new amiibo.
Yeah, those amiibo look really cool.
Yeah, so both of us are. You have like almost every amiibo. I have a lot of amiibo. Mm-hmm. Both of us definitely have a lot. Spent a lot of money on amiibos. Do you have any desire to get? We saw the new Mario series, the new Zelda stuff.
I'm on the fence about Mario, just because I don't really need him.
Probably end up getting Boo.
Like I did pre-order Boo, and I read somewhere that he might be glow in the dark, which would be cool. The 3 Zelda ones, though, I'm definitely getting those. One of them is the Guardian from the game. Those big spider creatures in his arms. You can actually move them. And did you see kind of the amiibo support with Wolf Link in this? Mm-hmm. I think that's really cool.
It's neat. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ever going to use it, but it's
for those who.
So if you have, I think you have to have gotten to a certain point in Twilight Princess to use it.
Well, you have to when you put them on Twilight Princess, right? Mm-hmm. That opens up the dark dungeon thing.
Okay, that's right.
And then you have to have beaten that.
Mm-hmm. And then you can use him in this game, and it essentially gives you a companion for the new game who can fight for you, or fight with you, help you gather, help you hunt. Yeah, it's the wolf. It's Wolf Link.
Will be in the game and will protect you. And it's like and it's based on how many hearts you had when you completed the dark dungeon. That's how I understood it. So if you only beat it and you only had like 3 hearts, that's what the thing's gonna have, and it's only gonna last, however long that will last. But if you have 10 hearts, he'll have 10 hearts. He'll really be able to help you, and you can only use it once every 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. So the thing of it is, it's like a Fallout companion, but for Zelda, and they have the actual health, and they can, go away and.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
And they haven't. I don't think they said anything about the other amiibo for Zelda, how that's gonna play in.
And that's a neat companion thing, but it doesn't feel like cheating. Like I haven't even opened up Twilight Princess yet. But what we know about it is when you put this amiibo, Zelda amiibo on it, it gives you heart refills. And stuff. That seemed like the hell kind of way to play is that. Mm-hmm. I'm happy that, especially in this game where you can't just find a heart in a pot in somebody's house. You have to eat, cook. Go
scavenge for food, and
you could either scavenge and hunt and cook stuff and sell things for rupees, or you could put an amiibo on it and refill it yourself. I'm happy it wasn't that.
Yeah,
because it would be too tempting, right?
And that takes away from the whole having to forage for food and find this and go kill a camp of goblins and take their food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would absolutely. So, but yeah, the support sounds cool. And at the same time that we say that that's cool, that so far that's not what it does, those other 3 amiibo are going to do something. So
yeah.
It could end up being something like that, like refill your arrows or something. And
yeah.
Like, that's dumb. Closing thoughts?
I can't fucking wait.
I'm really excited.
I want to play, like... but that's the problem.
I knew that it would feel that way.
It's so cool. I'm so excited. And it's going to be like 9 months before I get to play this.
But compared to some of the cool stuff we saw this week so far, that's nothing. Some of the cool stuff
sure.
we don't know.
We have no yeah.
It won't be next year.
Have no window.
The Kojima game won't be out till 2019.
Yeah, at least.
So, could be worse.
Mm-hmm. But I'm excited. I'm so stoked for this.
Yeah.
This is exactly what they needed to show for this game. And I've been tempted to like keep watching like the Treehouse stuff, but like I don't want to see too much more.
I just want to experience
it. I want my fill of it.
It's
I want
one of those things
see
that,
it,
like,
but I can't. I don't want to spoil too much.
That and like Mass Effect are like the 2 things where like I just need a little bit, and then I just wanted to play it. That's why like a lot of people were disappointed with the Mass Effect Andromeda reveal. That was perfect for me because I didn't see shit. I can experience it. That's what I like out of the Zelda too. I'm not gonna watch too much of that, but the trailer and the bit of the opening and stuff, all that I need.
Yeah.
Now give it to me, but it won't be for
a while.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I imagine 9 months.
I don't want another delay.
So here's my question.
And it won't be a delay because they haven't said anything.
Sure. Unless it's 2018. We're gonna push it another year.
If it's 2018, there's no point in even releasing it on the Wii U.
Yeah. So, that's my next question. So, say this isn't coming out. NX comes out in March. Say it's a launch title for NX in March. If this comes out before the NX one on Wii U, would you get it on Wii U?
Not a chance.
Really?
No way. Unless, like I said, unless the NX review is you play with a flute and like that's like it's some really honestly dumb way looking way to play
Breath of the Wild is with your breath.
But if we see the NX and it has a really cool controller, I will wait because you know what I won't be doing because it's going to be a really long game. There is zero chance that I would play through it again anytime soon for a second time after the Wii U version. The Wii U, thanks for the memories. I'm done buying new games for you because there are no more new games anyway.
You got Tokyo Mirage.
I'm not getting that.
I am.
Yeah, well that's fine. That's for you. That game's not for me.
I might get this on Wii U if it comes out first.
I don't think it will. I think that they want to do everything. I know that the only history of this happening that we have with Twilight Princess, I know that it came out a little bit earlier. I think that they are acknowledging that the Wii U is a dud, and they will do everything that they can to ensure the NX is successful. Yeah. If anything, I could see it being the opposite.
Yeah, where it comes out in NX and it's like, okay, well...
And in a month, it will come out on the Wii U and people will be like, why?
Yeah, well,
because
go buy
they want
NX.
it to be successful.
And they want everyone to go buy NX.
They need it to be successful.
Yeah.
Honestly, we need it as Nintendo fans to be successful because if it bombs...
Well, like I texted a friend of mine when this was going on, and I was like, "Oh, have you seen this?" And she's like, "Oh, that look, she's a big Zelda fan, but hasn't kept up too much with the goings on of the industry." And she's like, "I guess I'm gonna have to buy a Wii U," and I'm like, "Well, you might want to wait for the NX." And she's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Well, this is coming out in March. It's the new console. You might want to wait and not buy the Wii U just yet."
Yep, exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Just about as exciting as anything in the whole
E3.
This is,
I don't know if I have been this excited for anything. Like, there's a lot of great announcements that have happened and a lot of things that I've been excited for, but this is, I think, the only thing that I've been like, oh my god, my mouth is agape. Yep. I need to play this.
I think the only difference between, like, I'm sure that we're going to do an E3 wrap up.
Yeah.
I'll save it for that. I'm excited for this.
Okay. Cool. Well, and that will wrap up our Nintendo / Zelda Breath of the Wild discussion. What did you guys think of the reveal? Did you guys enjoy it? Are you excited? Are you disappointed for some reason? Go ahead and let us know in the comments below, or you can tweet at both of us. I'm on Twitter at Rich Belson.
I'm at Stonks.
The channel's on Twitter at OABeer_official, and you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/overbeer. We're Instagram, over_a_beer, and YouTube, of course, youtube.com/overbeer. We have our Sony reactions and our Microsoft reactions up there as well, as long as a bunch of other weekly videos and stuff. We just started doing beer reviews, as we are the Over Beer channel, so you can check those out there too. But that'll wrap up today, so until next time, drink up.
Butter me up.